Ever received a suspicious phone call that made you question its legitimacy? So, I'm here to help you to avoid this. Only 10 minutes off you time will save a tons of money and you welfare. Today we're going to speak about phone calls fraud. Also, you can check on my channel about online job scam. So please subscribe and hit like button. Let's go. In our increasingly interconnected world, phone call fraud has become a prevalent issue that affects millions. Imagine for a moment that your phone rings. The person on the other side claims to be from your bank, a government agency, or even tech support. They sound convincing and they have your attention. But here's the catch. They're not who they claim to be. They're fraudsters, and their primary goal is to swindle you out of your hard-earned money or to acquire your sensitive information. These deceitful activities can take many forms. Financial scams, for instance, involve tricksters persuading you to provide personal or financial details, like your credit card information or social security number. Then there's impersonation, where criminals pose as legitimate entities to manipulate you into actions that benefit them. Ever had a call from tech support, warning you about a non-existent problem with your computer? That's a common example. We also have robocalls, automated pre-recorded messages promoting scams, often involving fake offers, prize winnings, or fraudulent services. Vishing, or voice phishing, is another method. Similar to email phishing, it involves fraudulent attempts to obtain sensitive information over the phone, often by posing as a trustworthy entity. And let's not forget about one-ring scams. Here, fraudsters make brief, missed calls to numbers, hoping that recipients call back, resulting in premium rate charges. It's a quick dial and disconnect, but it could cost you if you're not aware. The world of phone call fraud is complex and constantly evolving, making it a real challenge to stay ahead of these cunning criminals. But knowledge is power, and being aware of the different objectives behind phone call fraud is the first step towards protecting yourself and your loved ones. Now that we've introduced what phone call fraud is, let's delve into how these scams operate. Stay tuned, because understanding their tactics is key to staying safe. Fraudsters are cunning and use a variety of tactics to trick you. One of their favorite tactics is caller ID spoofing. This is where they falsify the caller ID information to make it seem like the call is coming from a trusted source, such as your bank or a government agency. In reality, it's a scammer trying to trick you into giving them your personal or financial information. Another common tactic is social engineering. This involves manipulating individuals through psychological tactics to extract sensitive information or prompt certain actions. For instance, they might pose as a tech support agent and convince you that your computer is infected with a virus. They'll then offer to fix it for you, but only if you give them remote access to your computer. Once they have that access, they can steal your personal information or install malicious software. Farming is another tactic used by fraudsters. This involves redirecting phone calls through fraudulent means to gather information or manipulate call destinations. For instance, a fraudster might set up an automated system that redirects calls from a legitimate business to their own phone line. When you call the business's number, you're actually speaking to the fraudster, who can then trick you into giving them your personal or financial information. Lastly, we have tech support scams. This is where fraudsters impersonate tech support agents and convince individuals that their devices are compromised. They'll then coerce you into paying for unnecessary services or software. They might even trick you into installing malicious software that allows them to steal your information or control your device. Understanding these tactics is the first step in protecting yourself. Now, how can you prevent falling victim to these scams? Prevention is always better than cure, especially when it comes to phone call fraud. Let's talk about how you can protect yourself from becoming a victim. The first step is caller ID verification. It's always wise to be cautious when receiving calls from unknown numbers. If someone claims to be from an institution you trust, such as your bank or the government, don't take their word for it. Hang up and call the institution directly using the number provided on their official website. This simple step can save you from handing over sensitive information to the wrong hands. Next up, we have the avoidance of unsolicited requests. You might receive a call out of the blue, asking for your personal or financial information. No matter how convincing the caller may sound, refrain from providing any information. Legitimate institutions will never ask for sensitive information over the phone. Remember, it's okay to say no. Then, there's the use of call blocking apps. These nifty tools can help filter out known fraudulent numbers. They work by maintaining a database of reported scam numbers and blocking them from reaching you. Some even offer the ability to look up unfamiliar numbers, giving you an extra layer of protection. Now let's talk about education and awareness. Staying informed about the common tactics used in phone call fraud is key to avoiding them. The more you understand about how these scams work, the better equipped you'll be to spot them. It's also imperative to share this knowledge within your communities. Together, we can minimize the impact of these scams. Lastly, there's reporting. If you do receive a fraudulent call, don't just hang up and forget about it. Report it to the relevant authorities or regulatory bodies. This not only helps protect you but also contributes to the larger fight against phone call fraud. Many countries have dedicated hotlines and online platforms for reporting such incidents. Your report could help prevent someone else from falling victim to the same scam. Each of these preventive measures contributes to your overall security, forming a robust defense against phone call fraud. Caller ID verification ensures you're talking to who you think you're talking to. Avoidance of unsolicited requests keeps your information safe. Call blocking apps filter out potential threats. Education and awareness equip you with the knowledge to spot scams. And reporting helps the broader community. By implementing these measures, you can significantly reduce your risk of falling victim to phone call fraud. Ever wonder what happens when you report a suspicious phone call? Let's find out. When it comes to combating phone call fraud, reporting plays a vital role. It may seem like a small act, but reporting a fraudulent call can make a significant difference in the bigger picture. Think of it this way. If you spot a single ant in your house, it's likely a sign of a larger infestation. Similarly, a single reported fraudulent phone call can uncover a network of deceit affecting countless people. By reporting, you're not only protecting yourself but also helping others who may not be aware they're being targeted. Reporting fraudulent calls to the relevant authorities or regulatory bodies is crucial for several reasons. First, it aids in the collection of data. The more data that's gathered, the better the understanding of the fraudster's tactics. This information is invaluable in developing strategies to counteract these scams and prevent future ones. Also, sharing this video, you will help to others to prevent and avoid fraud. Secondly, reporting helps to raise awareness. When authorities receive numerous reports about a specific scam, they can issue warnings to the public and provide advice on how to handle such calls. This makes us all better equipped to recognize and avoid falling victim to these scams. Lastly, your report can aid in the investigation and prosecution of these fraudsters. Every piece of information, no matter how small, can be a crucial lead in tracking down and bringing these criminals to justice. But how do you go about reporting? If you receive a scam call, make sure to note down as much information as you can, such as the phone number, the time of the call, and any details about what the caller said or did. Then, report this information to your local law enforcement agency and your phone company. You can also report to your national regulatory body like the Federal Communications Commission in the United States or the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center in Canada. Remember, silence only aids the fraudsters. By reporting, you're taking an active role in the fight against phone call fraud. You're contributing to a safer and more secure environment for everyone. Remember, each report made is a step closer to stopping these fraudsters. And don't forget to subscribe and hit like button. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. Phone call fraud comes in various forms such as financial scams, impersonation, robocalls, vishing, and one-ring scams. Fraudsters employ different tactics including caller ID spoofing, social engineering, farming, and tech support scams. To protect ourselves, it's crucial to verify caller IDs, avoid giving out personal or financial information to unsolicited callers, use call blocking apps, and stay informed about common fraud tactics. Most importantly, we need to be proactive in reporting any instances of phone call fraud to the relevant authorities. By doing so, we not only protect ourselves but also contribute to the wider effort to combat these deceptive practices. Being aware and vigilant are our best defenses against these scams. Remember, your personal and financial security is paramount, and it's okay to question and verify before sharing any sensitive information over the phone. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and together, we can put a stop to phone call fraud. Hope this video will help you to stop fraud before it happens. If you have any question, please comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit like button.